Hi, Rich Spezzano here from DigitallyFearless, and today I'm going to attempt to do a caricature, and I haven't done this one yet, so we'll see how it comes. And if you see a picture on the screen, the reason I said attempt is because I don't put that picture on until after I've recorded it, so let's get started. So I opened a document, and it doesn't matter what size it is. So I want to go to stock photos, and I typed in face, an unsplash, and I like this particular face, and I have the link in the description. So if I slide this in here, it's obviously bigger than my canvas, so all I have to do is do document, clip canvas, and the canvas becomes the size of the picture. And always for safety reasons, I always keep the original just in case I make a bad mistake. So Control or Command J, so I'm duplicating it and I'm going to turn off the original. So now I'm going to pick the selection brush tool and we want to cut him out. I'm using my right bracket to make my brush bigger. The reason I picked this, and you can pick any photo you want, is it's an easy background. It's easy for us to just cut him out. So I'm going to just keep going down, and you're seeing it's doing a good job. And it is a caricature, so it's not that necessary to get all of this perfect, but I'm going to do the best I can right now. And that looks pretty good except for all the hair. And we'll take care of the hair in a minute. So now we go here and hit refine. And when I hit refine, it turns red. And what I'm going to do is make my brush bigger. And I'm going to just go like this on the edges. Let's see what we end up with. And it looks like it's picking some of these edges really well. And we could fix that afterwards also. But we'll see how that goes. And I'm thinking, put a little bit down here. I'm thinking that looks pretty good. So down here where it says refine, it says output. I'm going to output on a new layer with the mask and then say apply. And what it does is it hides all the layers underneath. And I think this looks pretty good. A little bit rough here, but we don't have to worry about that because it's going to be a caricature. Once again, I am going to duplicate, Control or Command J. I'll hide the one underneath. And what I need to do is to use the Smudge Tool. And that's the Smudge Tool right here. On my brushes, what I did was I clicked here and I did oils. And I'm just going to pick a smudgy kind of an oil like this. Now, I am using a mouse, and if you use a tablet, it is so much better, but I usually try to use a mouse for these tutorials because many people don't have tablets to work with. So what you need to do, and you've seen this oil painting effect, I'm going to get you a close-up. You don't have to be careful because we're doing a caricature. So for a caricature, I could just smooth a little bit of things out. We want it smooth, but we don't have to worry about it looking like an oil painting. We just want to smooth it all out like this. And the more brush strokes, the better, because hopefully I can get an effect later with these brush strokes. So, and try to keep around like here in the cheeks. Maybe I'll just do around, and then I may bring some of that down like this. And I'm going, again, I'm not trying to do an oil painting. Oil painting, you got to be much more careful and make it look realistic. I am just trying to smooth out some things like this and make it really look almost fake is really what I'm trying to do. So first I'm just going to get all the edges. And because it's a smudge tool, you might want to in the layer, you might want to Command or Control click so you have a selection so you can't go out. For example, if I tried to go out like that, nothing would happen. It stays within the guy because he is selected. I'm going to actually do his neck a little bit here, and even his chin. No, that's a little too much. I'll get right here under his chin, and you notice how I'm just going to do the Adam's apple and come down like this. And I might speed this up just a little Let's see what we look like. Control Command 0. Another thing I think I want to do is I think I want to move him. Whoops. I got to deselect, Control Command D, and move him to the middle. I think that's better. And now I think I'm going to, I think I'll try to duplicate him again, Control Command J, and rasterize him. Let's see what we should try first. Let's try maybe filter, detect edges, and see what we got. And then I will invert it. That's Control Command I. And I'm okay with that. And I think I'll also convert that to black and white. Oops, wrong one. Adjustments, black and white. And I think that looks good. And I might even do a levels adjustment. So let's try that. I would like to see more black if possible. Like that. I like all the smudge stuff. That's what I'm trying for. Okay, now I'm going to rasterize that. And we have a solid picture now. We're going to go down the line and see what kind of blend mode we can get here. See how that's a little bit more of what I'm looking for, that little darkness. I want some shades in his face. I'm going to go to pin light, which gives me even more shading. I'm not going to rasterize this time. What I'm going to do is do layer, merge visible. And what it does is it gives me a copy of that, and I'm going to delete this one here. Now I'm going to go down the line and see if I can even get more of it. Ooh, I like it right there. The linear burn looks pretty good. And I think I'm going to stick with linear burn. So I'm just experimenting here. So just like you should be experimenting. So now what I'll do is, once again, we're going to go to Layer, Merge Visible. And now we have him on top. We don't need any of these other things, right? So now I'll go to Live Filters and go to Pinch and Punch. And I want to bring these pretty far up. And I just need to decide where I want them to see how I just moved that over there. And then I could decide how much bigger or how wackier, see, like that. And I think I'm okay with that. And now I need to do another one, because if I touch anywhere else, this one disappears. So we close that, and it's still live here in case I want to change it. And then I go back here and do it again, pinch and punch. And this time I'm going to do this side, but nothing happened because I didn't raise it up yet, see? So I could decide if I want that to be really big. Maybe I will make it big. And by the way, that's got to be part of this. So I'm just going to move it down there. And then if I go to this one, oh, there we go. So this one, like that, right? And then I can go back to this one and do that. So I kind of think that's kind of cool. So we'll leave it at that. That's the pinch and punch. And I have to rasterize it again because I'm going to go to Liquify. And Liquify needs a rasterized pixel layer. So now we go to there and we start moving. This is the tool we're going to use right here. And we start maybe bringing out his cheeks like this. And elongating his chin, I think. Maybe even his whole, whoops, let me undo that. Let's make it bigger so we can get the whole bottom of him moving down like that. And maybe even his head can go up. And I think his cheeks should go out like that more. And I kind of am liking this. And let's go down here and stretch him even more down here. And I think that's kind of interesting. So I'm going to hit apply. And now let's see, we get a new pixel layer. So right here, we're going to add an empty pixel layer. And on that pixel layer, once again, I'm using one of these oil brushes. And you can use any kind of brush you want. I'm going to choose like a red color, I think. I'm experimenting, so if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. we just we trash this or we redo it. Now it doesn't look good as what I'm doing here right now. So what I'll do is I'm going to change a blend mode. Let's go. I think I like average because I think I did this once on some other thing, because I don't want it to be so drastic. And so I'm going to just paint around his hair like that. Maybe make the streaks lower. I don't think I like this brush, so I'm going to undo all of that because I don't like the brush stroke. So once again, I'm going to change that to average. And let's pick a different brush, maybe something like that. We'll try that one. So once again, I'm just going to paint here. I'm just going to have some fun. I'm just going to play around, maybe some streaks like this. And I'm going to lower the opacity too as I go along, but I just want to get some of these in here. And I'm not sure I'm going to keep we should be using a tablet for this for sure. But I'm going to keep going. Just see. Just what the heck. I'm going to just see what we end up with. And let's try, actually, if we try average and then we lower the opacity, that gives us more of a little bit of color here. And okay, I'm going to leave it at that just for now. I may change some of this later. And wasn't what I was planning on making it look like. Okay, so let's just go with that for now. We're going to change things later on. And now let's do a new fill layer. And we're going to do, instead of solid, we're going to go radial. I'm going to put this behind him. And what we'll do with him is, on the radial, we're going to pick, let's do maybe a blue and an orange. So let's go one side maybe blue, and the other side an orange. Be a bright orange, I think, like kind of like that. I got to lock these two layers in so they don't get in my way when I'm doing the radial. And so here we go. So it's just like that. And actually I want them the opposite, so I have to open this up and hit reverse. And I want the orange in the center and the blue on the outside. I think more like that. Okay, first, now I'm going to take that fill and rasterize it, because when you rasterize it, you can do more things with it. And now I'm going to add some noise. Let's see what happens there. And I'm bringing it all the way up to like 100. And maybe just give it a little, I don't know, ripple maybe? Let's try ripple. I don't know if it's going to work. And preserve alpha so the outside doesn't get affected. It's kind of interesting. A little less, I think, like that. I think I'm okay with that. So that's kind of an interesting effect. And now I'm going to duplicate this background, Control-Command-J, move it to the top, covering him up, and then let's look at a blend mode. Let's see, that's darken, multiply. I'm just going to go down the line and see if there's something interesting that I like. Multiply is a little too dark for me, but I do like the effect. I think I'm going to choose multiply, and then what I'll do is layer, merge visible again. So now this is the only thing showing, and maybe I can do a curves on it and brighten it up. So let's see how that works. If I could brighten it up a little bit like that. And I don't know. Let's see before and after. That's before and that's after. And I think we're done. I think this is pretty good. I know it's not great. Again, I do things very quickly on these tutorials, but you get the idea of all the things you can try. And here I've experimented with several things, did not know how it was going to come out. I'm not crazy about this hair. I could have done a much better job, but you should take your time and figure out how to make your hair look much better. I could have even made it come out even way out here and gone drastic with it, and these streaks should have been much better. But in the end, I think it's okay for a fun, interesting piece of artwork, a caricature, whatever you want to call it. Okay, just to show you, because I wasn't really that happy with the first one, if you keep experimenting, this is another version I came up with. So just letting you know that that's another version. And you can do any kind of looks you want, and this was done with the same pictures. So play around as much as you can and see what you can come up with. So I hope you liked this tutorial, and if you did, please click like and subscribe, and have a great day. Bye.